Hi friends, it's Lachey back with the Gift and Craft Shop. I wanted to show you a quick card tutorial today for this Hello Love card made with Stampin' Up products, and more importantly, how to get a crisp outer edge on your card image using a larger image from a stamp set called Swallowtail. So I want to give you a quick tip on how to do that, and we'll walk through the making of this card. Now, today I will be using a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of basic black cardstock from Stampin' Up. I'll also be using a 5 by 3 3/4 piece of cardstock from Stampin' Up in Whisper White, and I'll also be using a piece of Petal Pink from Stampin' Up that is 4 3/4 by 3.5. Now, to begin this process, we're going to assemble our card base by taking the piece of basic black and folding it in half. I'm actually going to fold this direction and scoring this with a bone folder. I'm going to take our piece of Whisper White cardstock and apply some double-sided adhesive. Oops, looks like my adhesive just ran out. Let me grab a backup here. If you've ever wondered how these work, you just open the case and voila. All right, now we're going to finish applying the adhesive. The Petal Pink. These are just scraps from my stash of scraps in my craft room. And this is a piece of Stampin' Up's Whisper White cardstock, which I have just stamped with the retired Swallowtail image. So the Swallowtail Stamp Set, that is retired. And I also have on this card a sentiment that says Hello Love from Stampin' Up, and that would be from the retired Good Greetings set. This set, I can't believe they retired it. It has all the perfect greetings for any occasion that you are going to happen across. So I was very sad when they retired that, and I refused to part with it. So here we're going to take our scan and cut mat and we're going to attach our piece of stamped cardstock. Now, here's my number one tip for the day. On this cardstock, the Memento ink, I'm just sort of burnishing this for the moment to make sure it adheres properly. You can also use like a speedball roller to get that down and adhered evenly and well to your mat. But for the purposes of today, again, I have used the Versafine Ink Pad to stamp our Swallowtail image. That ensures that we are getting a good, crisp, clean image on the cardstock. That way, when we scan the image, we won't have any issues getting a nice, solid outline. When I stamped it with my Memento ink pad, the image, when it scanned in, the scanner was picking up and trying to cut out all these small areas on the wings of the swallowtail, and that is not what I wanted. I wanted a one solid white border. Now, as you can see, my machine is coming up here. This is the Brother Scan and Cut CM650W machine, and we are going to scan this image into the machine and cut it with a very small border. Now, I'm going to zoom you in here so you can see this screen a little bit better, a little bit more clearly. There you are. And we're going to press the home button. It's going to give us a notice that the carriage is going to move. And I'm going to click Scan, Direct Cut, because I don't want to save the image. And I'm going to bring our cover down. I'm going to make sure that the mat is lined up and pressed up against the rollers. And I'm going to load the mat. Now this is ready to begin the scan process. I'm going to press Start. The machine is going to recognize or develop the image within its scanning profile. We'll click OK. I'm going to shrink this window that we're working within here down a hair. And I'm going to ignore object size. Click OK. And I'm going to set a border of 0.04. That allows you a nice thin outline of the card. And so if you will look right here, here we have a 0.4 border. You can see that very nicely. This is a 0.08 border. So you can see that there is quite a substantial difference between just those two lowest settings on that. So I'm going to stick with the 0.04 and just double check that. Okay. And we're going to click OK. Now we're going to allow the machine to cut the image. We're going to select cut. The image on the mat here looks great on the screen. I'm going to select cut. And press the start button. This is a larger image, so it doesn't take quite as long to cut out. Now, obviously, if you're cutting a lot of images on one sheet, this can be a little bit more time consuming. Okay, we're done cutting. I'm going to release the mat from the machine. I'm going to close the door, and I am going to give you an adjustment again so you can follow. I'm going to remove the excess cardstock from our mat. And I'm going to remove the swallowtail butterfly image, and there we go. We have a nice, crisp, clean butterfly image ready for our card front. So, in an effort to maintain my mats here, one moment while I replace my mat protector. And we're just now going to assemble this card. I have my panels, my basic black with whisper white, and my petal pink pieces attached with some just double-sided adhesive. Now I'm going to take I'm going to flip our image over. I'm going to take Stampin' Up 3D foam dimensionals. I think they call them just Stampin' Dimensionals these days, but they are pieces of 3D foam. I'm going to place one in the center because I like my images to not sink if I'm mailing them. And I'm going to remove the paper backing. And by sink, I mean I don't like them to sink in the center or where there may not be a piece of 3D foam to support the paper. Over time or in the mail, you can sometimes see, like if I hadn't put any here, this section might sink into the card. This paper might warp into the card bases in the process of age and or wear and tear from just general mailing this to a friend or a family member. So I'm going to very carefully line that up, give it just a quick little press to make sure that the adhesive there has taken to the card base. I'm going to continue to use our Versafine. You could also stamp this in Petal Pink if you wanted to, but I am going to carry through with this beautiful black and pink design. Just quickly inked up my stamp. This sentiment says, "Hello, love." And I'm going to use the Stampin' Up! Retired Ticket Punch. I love this punch. I keep it, even though I don't keep a lot of my retired Stampin' Up! Tools and materials. This one I just absolutely adore because it is great for men, it's great for women, it's great for any occasion that you happen upon. And because I already have one layer on this card, I am going to just simply put some adhesive on the back, and I'm going to let this one lie flat, and I'm going to leave a little bit of pink on the edge of the wing here because I like that little peekaboo, and just adhere that. Okay, now I'm going to take my paper snips and my Stampin' Up! Rhinestones here, and they are being finicky today. Place one there, place another by the wing over here, and I'm going to do sort of a beauty mark. I'm going to place it right up here, right next to the antenna. And there we are. We have a very quick and easy card. Again, when you are using your Brother Scan and Cut, use an ink pad for your stamped images that has a very clear, crisp, dark black. That way the scanner can easily pick up that image and you will get a clear cut every time. Thanks for visiting, friends, and we really appreciate you stopping by. If you feel so inclined, please follow and like the page and give a subscribe so that we can continue to share more material with you. Thanks.